Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much to TCG for organizing all of this. Pleasure to be here. My name is Ralph Martinez with Lux Speed. Two things about us. One, we're a networking company. Two, what we do is we offer high-speed internet service. Let me go through the deck here, show you a little bit about who we are. We have a strong backbone here with 13 million fiber miles in the US. And what we do is we offer a dedicated connection to the users, providing a enterprise-grade network instead of your standard residential network. We obviously benefit from a better internet service. So getting into some of the details of what we are, here's our leadership team. Some of you may be familiar with some of our those on our leadership team, and this is important for us to put in our deck. The reason is, when you work with us, you know who you're working with. You get on the phone, you have our number, you know who you're dealing with. The majority of us are here local in South Florida, but obviously travel throughout the country. So recent polls show the importance of having high-speed community-wide internet service. Both Generation X and millennials who are renters find this to be very important, along with those who own the home in which you live in. To give you a brief example, some of these polls show that fiber optic to the building is important to 92% of the consumers. 75% said that they prefer a pre-installed internet service. When they get into the building, there's already internet service. You don't have to call an internet service provider, have them hook you up, provide a modem for you, set up an appointment with a 4-hour window, wait on them, and hope that it gets done on that day. And 69% would prefer community-wide internet service, which is exactly what we do. How do we do this? Well, for example, you see here this slide on the left. Your standard ISP will offer a 1 gig connection, and what they do is they oversubscribe. So basically what that means is they do what the airlines do. Airplane has 250 seats, they're going to sell 300 tickets. Why? They never expect all 300 passengers to show up. But what happens when they do? They get bumped. So the internet service providers do something very similar. They oversubscribe. And they're unable to keep up with the demand when all users are on at the same time. What do? On the right, you see here that we start off first with a 10 gig connection instead of a 1 gig connection. So immediately, we start off by substituting a garden hose for a fireman hose, giving you a more bandwidth. Now, this allows us also to offer you a dedicated connection, symmetrical upload and download speed. This is all very important for what we do in these communities. What we do is we focus on assisted living, student housing, condos, single-family homes, MDUs, as Dan brought out earlier. So usually what we do is we work with 100 units or more. Why do we limit it from 100 up? Well, first of all, we invest in the property. How? We have a very strong engineering background. We all know that the shortest distance between A and B is a straight line. So instead of bumping the signal throughout the US, as we see here on the slide on the left, what we do is on the right, we do smart routing. That way we avoid latency. For the majority of us, latency issues may not be a problem, but the younger generation, those who enjoy gaming, that millisecond is crucial. It's life or death in their game. So that's why it's crucial. It's important to them, it's important to us. They are our customers. Now, again, why do we only invest or look for communities with 100 units or more? Well, we invest in the property, in the community, at no upfront cost to the client. We provide community-wide Wi-Fi. You'll notice here we have the orange cloud on the bottom right, representing the internet. So we bring fiber to the property, set up a MDF, and then run IDFs up the building. Now, what a lot of these companies might do in something similar to this, they will daisy chain this. So they will run it from the MDF up to the IDF and up the scale. What happens when the first floor is cut off? The rest of the buildings are also cut off. We don't. What we do is we set it up where each floor is connected to the MDF. That way, if there's a problem on the first floor, the other floors do not suffer. Once we set this up, then we run Cat 6 to the access points that we set up. As you can see there through the little emblem there of the orange access, these are throughout the property. So this provides a ubiquitous coverage, community-wide. In a building, such as a high-riser, what this means is that the user has internet service in their condo, in the hallway, the lobby, the pool, the tennis courts, the basketball courts, the laundry room, throughout the community. Now, in addition to that, we also set up a VLAN in each unit. This allows them to have a measure of security. So in essence, what that means is they can be in their own apartment, hit print, and something will print in their printer. But they can also be in the lobby or in the pool, hit print, and it'll still print in their home because of the VLAN. Now, this is very important to consider, these layouts here. You may be familiar with them, heat maps, right? So think of it this way. Imagine that you're designing a building, maybe 25 stories, 500 units. Well, part of the design has to involve a capacity plan. So if there's 500 units, and let's assume each unit has one toilet at least, there should be sufficient water for all 100 or 500 toilets to flush at the same time, if that were the case. Why should internet be any different? If all 500 units or users are going to be online at the same time, should it be any different? No, there should be a capacity plan. So that's what we do. We provide this infrastructure at no upfront cost to the client. It is expensive. It's very expensive. To give you an example, we're setting up, preparing for a contract that we're just signing now. It's 1,000 homes, single-family homes in a gated community. That's going to take us a few months to set up, and the infrastructure is probably going to cost us about $3.5 million. We pay for that. It's of no upfront cost to the client. So that alone is of interest to them. It's very appealing. Why? Well, notice this slide here. What we do is, this gives you the example of the actual single-family units. We do not use a pre-existing infrastructure. Some companies will provide fiber optic internet. They tie into a pre-existing infrastructure, and most of the time it's coax. So that's pretty much like having a hybrid Ferrari. It looks nice, but it just does not perform. But what we do is we will set up these access points throughout the community, the property. The importance of that for us is that we fulfill our promise. We tell them we're going to give them community-wide Wi-Fi. We tell them they're going to have better, stronger internet service. How do we do this? A capacity plan, a network design. This allows us to follow through on our promise. Now, when we provide a proposal for the client, we also include a heat map, allowing them to understand and know where is the coverage going to be and the strength of the coverage. We also will include a specific amount of speed that they will receive. In most cases, most units will receive a minimum of 2 or 300 by 2 or 300. That would be their guaranteed speed. But the truth is, they will more than likely be receiving 800 by 800 or a gig is what they're going to be receiving. But we do put that in writing for them. Now, we monitor this infrastructure. At the beginning, I told you that we are a network company that provides internet service. So our engineers are able to monitor the system on the back end. The system will generate a message to them if any one of these access points go down. Please, show of hands here. Tell me who has received a call, or when you've called your internet service provider, they've told you, disconnect the modem, wait 15 seconds, and plug it back in. Right? Who has it? We take the guesswork out. Why? Our customers do not have a modem. We provide access points. These access points, state of the art, are managed by us. So if any one of these are faulty, it generates a message to us. We can remotely reset it. But also we understand technology, we have to keep on top of it. We have to realize that there is always going to be an issue. So if we are one step ahead of it, our customers are going to be very happy. Now, that being said, that allows our engineers to reset these access points at specific times. For example, every Tuesday at 2:37 a.m., when there are 0 users online, that's when we will reset them. And this allows them to make sure they're working in optimal condition. Monitoring also means that since every user has their own VLAN, well, that's exclusive to them. That's their dedicated tunnel to be able to have that service. So if one of these clients is downloading illegal content, when the FBI comes knocking on their door saying, we need to talk to whoever's downloading this, they can reach out to us and we can determine who is downloading whatever needs to be looked at. Now, why do I mention this? Because this is a security issue. And this is something that's a liability issue, something that will be helpful to HOA boards, property management companies. So now they avoid that liability. It's not an open internet service. It's not like when you walk into the mall or you go to Starbucks that everybody's logged on to the same service and nobody knows who downloaded what. Here is something specific. So our service is superior. We do offer our customer service, chat, phone, email, but we take it one step further. When we close a deal that has 500 or more users, in other words, 500 or more units, we will offer a concierge service free of charge for the first year. What does this mean? That means that every one of our customers has the benefit of benefiting from customer service. You call them on the phone, you tell them you have an issue with something, they help you to resolve it. But let's assume some of us may not be very tech savvy. We buy a brand new TV, smart TV. We set it up, but now we can't set it up or connect it to our internet. What do? Call customer service, but maybe because we are not tech savvy, they can't walk us through the steps. So we will have on site a technician 1, 2, maybe 3 days a week, 8 hours a day, at no additional charge to follow up on these appointments. Appointments to help Mr. Adams down the street who's 85 years old and his printer's offline and he can't print. Mrs. Smith who has a new laptop or whatever device that she has and she can't connect it to her internet. They will set it up for her, free of charge. So our customer service is superior. Some of the key points is that our system does integrate very easily with the majority of the HOA and property management softwares. We offer a community-wide coverage, very strong signal. It overlaps. For example, take for instance your cell phone. When you're on the phone on I-95 driving down, you don't realize your phone is bouncing from one antenna to the next. You continue on the same phone call. Well, that's what we do here. In these communities, because of all of the access points that are distributed throughout, they continue connected without having to log on and then log back on. They continue on their own connection. Now, one crucial point for us in these technical details is point number 1, extended LTE coverage. Just out of curiosity, how many here have problems in their own home with cell phone coverage? Right? A few of us. A lot of it has to do with South Florida. We have, because of code, you have block and concrete interior walls. So we've had customers who say, I have to run out of the shower, run to the back patio to take a phone call. So these access points have actually a micro cell phone antenna. And it allows them to extend their cell phone coverage. It's not extended through Wi-Fi. It's a legitimate, actual LTE extension of their coverage. So when we provide pricing to the customers, this is what we offer. 0 capital up front. They're going to pay 0. That alone is something appealing to them. This is a very expensive infrastructure that we're offering. We will provide 2 options, option A and option B. In essence, they're both identical. The only difference is one offers internet, the other one offers IPTV. That's the difference. We do have a few clients that say, you know what, in our community, people don't really care for IPTV. Not a problem. We can provide a standard box and remote control if that's what they're comfortable with. We will provide a channel lineup, whatever makes it easier for them. We always benefit from IPTV because of streaming and how easy things are, but we're able to be flexible to that degree with our customers. So in essence, that is who we are.